Last night at 10 o'clock, I had to listen to Cyril Ramaphosa telling us that he and the National Executive of the African National Congress wants to see the establishment of a government of national unity. Ramaphosa spoke to us as the leader of a minority party, the African National Congress, that lost since the last election in 2019 up to this election of a couple of days ago on the 29th of May 2024, no less than 17% of the vote. He's the leader of a party who lost 71 members of parliament. The African National Congress today is a minority party and will be such in the newly established 7th administration in the National Assembly. But he come to dish up to us in the most arrogant of ways all kinds of nice sounding phrases about unity for the sake of the nation, working together in order to deliver to the people, blah, blah, blah. In the last 30 years, the African National Congress dismally failed to address the needs of the people of South Africa. As a consequence, in these last elections, the ANC was punished by the voters of South Africa and they lost their majority. Now Ramaphosa suddenly wants to come and present himself as a figure for so-called unity, concerned about delivery to the people of this country, while he's only interested in saving his and his party members' sorry asses. Let's get a few facts straight. Ramaphosa has no right to call for a government of national unity. He's not in a position to do so because he doesn't have a majority in the National Assembly. He's in no position to come and make a comparison between what happened in 1994 with the establishment of the Government of National Unity under President Nelson Mandela and the current shambles that he has created and the destruction of a former liberation movement, the African National Congress. I was a member of the ANC's negotiating team during the period that led to the writing of the interim constitution, Act number 200 of 1993. And specifically today, we must talk about clause number 88 of that Act number 200 of 1993 that stipulated that a government of national unity will be established after the elections on the 27th of April 1994, and that the majority party would be obliged to invite all parties with 20 or more seats in the National Assembly to participate in that government of national unity. So let us first of all establish that when President Nelson Mandela established the Government of National Unity, it was not an act of benevolence. He had to do so in terms of the interim constitution. But let us also state very clearly that the ANC did not need any other party to govern. It had a solid majority of 62% in the National Assembly. the ANC created the Government of National Unity on the basis of negotiations, on the basis of the understanding that coming out of the division and the destruction of apartheid, it would be a good idea to establish a Government of National Unity. But the ANC did not need any of those other political parties in terms of the basic principle of an overall majority to govern in order to be able to govern. It had the democratic mandate from the people of South Africa to govern. Now, Mr. Ramaphosa and his sorry coterie of members of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress, as we speak today, have no majority in the National Assembly. They have no mandate to govern the people of South Africa. That mandate had been removed from them in no uncertain terms during the last election. Wat hierdie twee gat Jacobs probeer doen, what this two-hole jackal is trying to do, is to save his own sorry ass and the sorry asses of the rest of the leadership of the African National Congress that have failed so dismally. They try now, by a sleight of hand, by deliberate manipulation and lies, to compare the Government of National Unity of 1994 with this farcical call for a Government of National Unity, while they have no majority base from which to do so. They tried to sell to us the idea that the other political parties, including also the black progressive political parties in South Africa, the Economic Freedom Fighters, the MK Party, ATM and others, should join in this farcical Government of National Unity. They act as if this is an act of benevolence, which is the biggest load of poppycock you can imagine. The ANC is not in a position to act with benevolence. It is a beggar, reduced by the disillusioned voter in South Africa to come with a begging bowl to the other political parties in this country to establish a government with a sufficient majority in order to be able to govern. That is not a Government of National Unity. That is not a government with a foundation of goodwill to try and unite the people of South Africa. That is not a government that cares about the people of South Africa. It is a political party trying to save itself from extinction. And Cyril Ramaphosa tries to present it as an act of benevolence. It is the biggest load of bullshit that you can possibly imagine. And why is Ramaphosa doing this? Because he's trying to sell to the people of South Africa, by manipulation and lies and sleights of hand, a government where the Democratic Alliance, the racist, white supremacist Democratic Alliance, representative of white monopoly capitalism, will be part of. A government where the Democratic Alliance will, together with the African National Congress under Ramaphosa's sell-out guidance, have the majority say and govern this country. The intention is to use, under the guise of government of national unity, a structure that will diminish the role and the influence of black progressive political parties in South Africa. And the fact of the matter is that it is not necessary to include the Democratic Alliance at all in a coalition government. What we need to discuss in South Africa today is not a farcical, illusionary government of national unity. We need to discuss how we are going to put together a coalition that will be able to govern in South Africa, with the African National Congress having been reduced to the minority party that it is, having been humbled by the people of South Africa because of its dismal failure to deliver in the needs of the people of this country. That government of national unity that Ramaphosa talks about is a total illusion. What we need is a coalition government where the progressive forces in South Africa, especially also the party that I belong to, the Economic Freedom Fighters, can play a central role in order to work for the empowerment of black, especially African South Africans, for the delivering of services to our people, for the commitment that has been made that the land must be returned to the people, expropriation of land without compensation, the nationalization of the South African Reserve Bank, the strengthening of our state-owned enterprises so that they can be managed in a proper and efficient way to deliver electricity, clean running water, proper housing, free, quality, equal education, and all of those ideals that the people of South Africa have been hoping for and have been so terribly disappointed about over the last 30 years of this failed, farcical rule by the African National Congress. It is possible to establish a coalition government which will be progressive, which will be black, and which will reflect the will of the people in South Africa to see fundamental change, and the will of the people that the African National Congress should no longer be the party that determines their destination and their future. This is what the vote on the 29th of May has indeed been saying to us. This is the voice of the people of South Africa that has been speaking to us. What we have now is once again an attempt by Ramaphosa, in cahoots with white monopoly capitalism and with imperialism, to subvert that clear clarion call that came from the voters of South Africa that we need to change, to subvert it into a government of national unity where all the old interests, the interests that protected itself since the CODESA negotiations, will once again continue to maintain the status quo. As my Commander-in-Chief, President Julius Malema said in two of his messages last night, we cannot share power with the enemy. And that this announcement by Ramaphosa is arrogance in the extreme. The ANC has been humbled by the voter. The ANC has been given a clear and unequivocal message that they are on notice, that they have failed, and that the people of South Africa have had enough of it. We, as the various progressive black political parties in South Africa, have to insist that that voice must be honored, that that message must be honored. We cannot go and make ourselves part of a farcical government of national unity. It is ridiculous to try and compare the government of national unity of 1994, of the African National Congress under President Nelson Mandela, which was a majority ANC, on the basis of an agreement with the interim constitution that was established, on the basis of a true reach out for national unity in our country that created that government. As it turned out, that government did not help us. It was a failure. It did not bring the kind of change that the people of South Africa were struggling for in the struggle against apartheid. But it was a government of national unity on the basis of an invitation for other minority parties to join. This call by Cyril Ramaphosa is not that. It is farcical in the extreme. It is a weak minority party trying to salvage continuing control for itself as a comprador capitalist instrument of white monopoly capitalism and of imperialism, which is what it had become, because it sold out totally and fundamentally. It is an attempt by that sell-out African National Congress to continue to remain in control, to continue to protect the interests of white monopoly capitalism and of imperialism. For Ramaphosa, it is a ruse to make sure that the Democratic Alliance will be part of governing South Africa, and to make sure that between the sell-out ANC, the comprador capitalist African National Congress, and the racist agent of white monopoly capitalism and imperialism, the Democratic Alliance, they will control the government of South Africa on behalf of white monopoly capitalism and imperialism. That is the intention. And they want to put the other political parties, especially the black African progressive political parties, in a position of subjugation and the rules of a government of national unity, whatever that agreement will be, so that it will not be able to resist this continuation of exploitation of the majority of black and especially African people, of a continuation of the exploitative, racist status quo that we've had in the last 30 years because of the unpalatable compromises that had been made at CODESA, which was launched, which was brought in through the Government of National Unity of Nelson Mandela, and which was continued up to this very day. Now, Mr. Ramaphosa, we are 30 years down the road. We are not going to be fooled again. There's not going to be selling out from the side of the economic freedom fighters. We are not going to share power with the enemy. And we understand very clearly, unequivocally so, who the enemy is. So to say it in Afrikaans, jy's 'n twee-gat jakkals. And to say it again in Afrikaans, jy kan nie 'n sambreel in 'n man se gat oopmaak nie. That is what you're trying to do. You are trying to pull a fast one on all of us. And you try to sell it in the syrupy language of care for the people, for unity, for service. It is all a load of bullshit. And none of us are going to allow ourselves to be fooled like that. The Government of National Unity, sneaking in the Democratic Alliance into an alliance of governance between yourselves as the sellout African National Congress and the agents of white monopoly capitalism and imperialism, the DA, is not going to work. Something else has to happen. And that something else must reflect what the vote on the 29th of May told us. The voters said, the ANC has failed us. We need something new, something progressive, something that will change our lives fundamentally. It is possible to achieve that. It can be done through a progressive coalition of black, progressive, mainly African political parties in South Africa. Let us not mute the voice of the voter. Let us not fail the destiny that has been placed in our laps. Let us grasp the nettle. Let us make sure that a government that is a coalition of the progressive black African forces in South Africa come about. Let us finally begin to deliver to the people of South Africa on the basis of the deferred hopes that they've had for so long. Because if we do that, then we don't need to postpone the phrase that has been one of the clarion call slogans of the economic freedom fighters in the run-up to this election on the 29th of May. Let 2024 become our 1994. But that cannot be done with a government of national unity. That will once again be the betrayal of our people. So now, let us commit. Let us stay 100% the course. Let us continue to work for a coalition government of progressive forces. Let us never subject ourselves to the ruse of a government of national unity. The first time well meant as it was, it turned out to be tragedy. The second time, if we ever dare allow it to happen again, it will be farce. Our people, the people of South Africa, the long-suffering people of South Africa, who gave us a clear indication of their will through their vote, does not deserve that. Now is the time for us to stiffen our backs, to stand up, to say no to the sellouts, to put Ramaphosa and his sellout accolades in their place, and to become a people of strength and hope, of true transformation, of the true implementation of the hopes of our people when they fought against the apartheid regime, when they sacrificed so much, when leaders such as Chris Hani lost his life, when Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela suffered so much because of this apartheid regime that has been continued under the guise of a sellout African National Congress. We will not allow it to continue. Now is the tyd. Now is the time, Sekonjalo, to bring an end to it. Aluta.
Kuthini ukuphawula kwakho ngenkulumo kaKhali owayeyilungu le-ANC waphuma wayivulela iqembu lakhe usekwi-EFF namhlanje?